Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm still in the exact same spot I was for the other video because my husband went to the Elvis movie, and I have 3 hours of this lovely time to just be in the breeze and have a conversation with all of you. So, grabbing the world by the ass at this minute. So, I've had all these topics in my head kind of savoring and waiting to be able to have these conversations with you. So this one, still sort of within the context of the chosen family, but not necessarily because what I want to talk about is asking for what you want slash need. It might need or want, versus then doing the mind reading thing. Because now with chosen families, this is for everybody. All the videos are all for everybody except kids. Actually, because you have to check the little box with YouTube. But yeah, this would work for anyone. And asking for what we need and want is not something we often think about. We tend to think that people are mind readers. So then again, this is not just romantically. This is with our best friends, our siblings, our parents, our cousins, our work friends, or whoever. And then we get sort of offended or maybe annoyed or frustrated, maybe feel defeated when they don't, when they're not able to sort of produce what we need or want. So this is one thing we can really learn. Again, whatever we practice, we inevitably get better at, right? And so this is also, I have to say, one particular thing. It is a generalization, so whenever there's a generalization, it doesn't mean everybody. But in particular, one of the things I love about the young adults whom I've worked with who are on the spectrum, so we've got, look, there's a little car. So we've got family on the autism spectrum, and I've got I've had loads of students over the years who are on the spectrum, and again, it's a generalization, so it doesn't mean everybody on the spectrum. However, for the most part, at least in my experience, they are really good. This is such a strength that I really love, and I mean, if the whole world could embrace it, we'd be so much better off. And they're just very good about not trying to read minds. I mean, it is really clear. Because most are very, they're logical thinkers for the most part. And so it's just kind of like you ask a question, out comes an answer. So they don't assume to know what you think. They'll ask you, what do you think about this? Or how do you feel? And that is the way to go. Because think of how many romantic relationships that would save if we didn't try to read minds as far as what somebody else is thinking or feeling. Because the only way, even if we think we're 90% sure, the only way to really know what somebody else is thinking or feeling is to ask them, right? I think it's also one of the advantages of the sort of extensive mask wearing that we had, even though it was very hard in a lot of ways, especially in the heat, and for people with hearing challenges. I had that with a couple students, and that was super hard for them, and also those on the spectrum, actually. But one thing that came out of the mask wearing was we asked for clarity more, because we get with that muffled, and we're like, I'm sorry, can you say that again? And then we do that maybe 3 times sometimes because we can't. And then maybe by the 3rd time, they fine-tune what they were saying too. And now, since we slowed it down, we might have heard them a little better in a muffled sort of way. And so if there's anything we need to be clear about, ask. That's what I'm saying. Ask for what you want. So in a relationship, it's important if it's, let's say there's something, relationship, long-term relationship or best friendship that is kind of annoying you. Or maybe it's not like a full-scale, end the relationship thing. It could be like a little thing, or it could be here kind of thing. And it's actually better if it's here, because then you can prevent here. And to actually just bring it up. And to, say, this is this thing that you're doing. And then first of all, identify it. That's the most important thing. And then think about what it is about their, nail cracking or maybe not being listened to. That's a little bigger thing, but like pencil tapping and not being listened to are on like 2 different levels, right? But then get to the roots of the problem. Like if they're on their phone, let's say, being rude on the phone, maybe. So the issue is them being on their phone when you're trying to talk with them, or let's say you are talking with them and there's no phone on, and then it rings and they answer it. Okay, so answering the phone when you're talking is what's happening, right? The next level is, what is the root of the problem? The root of the problem is the very message with the answering the phone, or just leaving it upside down on the table when you're having lunch. Who does something with that? Think. Simon Sinek talks about that, actually. It's not what I'm talking about right now, but I guess I am. So Simon Sinek. So because just having the phone on and upside down on the table is not less rude. Because that's like, if somebody calls, they might be more important than you, so I'm going to answer it. So if we get to the root of the problem, is that person isn't valuing you. That's really what's going on in that moment. And they might not think that. It might even be like your sister, brother, partner, and they would go, oh my God, how could you think such a thing? And you say, well, this is what the behavior is saying. In that particular context, you are not valuing what I have to say, and which is just a less harsh way of saying you're not valuing me in that moment. Now, do I believe you love me and care about me? Yeah. However, I'm not feeling loved in that moment or appreciated or respected when you have the phone upside down on the table, okay? And so then what you can do after you say whatever is to turn it into something that's more positively worded, such as I would once you address the issue, you could say something such as, I would feel more loved and appreciated if you didn't bring your phone with you. And if that's too hard for you, I'd feel more loved and appreciated if you kept it completely off and not on the table, okay? If it's too hard for you to actually leave it in the car, the glove box, in the heat, I guess you can't do that anyway, but leave it home. If you would turn it completely off so you can't hear any tones, anything, and put it in your briefcase if it's a work thing, I would feel so much, own it, not you make me feel. I would feel more appreciated, more loved, more valued. If it's something different, same thing. I would feel more appreciated if you didn't wait for me to ask you to take out the garbage. If you just did it every Tuesday morning or whatever, if you just kind of took the initiative, kind of thing. That would have me, I would feel more appreciated, feel more respected, fill in the blank with whatever it is that the wants and needs that you're not having met. Okay, so the whole thing comes down to it. This is also obviously true sexually. And my very dear friend Dr. Dave, when he used to do the orientations at St. Mike's, he did the whole thing with the first years, and he would say to both, he would separate identifying males from identifying females. And this is way back when, like 10 years ago, so things have changed a little bit like that. But he would separate those then two groups and say, to each one, you want to tell your partner or whoever you're with that night, maybe they're not a partner, it's a one night, woohoo, but to be really clear, you can touch this, and that, and not this. So it's the same thing, because people aren't mind readers. They really aren't. We can think we are, but we're not. So that example of the first year's orientation can also work, romantically for seasoned adults too. Just be super clear if you're getting your needs and wants met. And, I actually didn't intend for this video to be, focused on that entirely. It's really in general, because think about the intimacy, romantic intimacy thing is just an even deeper expression of what that couple is feeling towards each other anyway. So it kind of all really gels. So, and you know what? They'll be grateful. They might not act like it in the minute, because it might be a little awkward depending on what it is. But once that awkwardness goes away, I've had so many students say that at different workshops to each other, not to me. Various things we've done on healthy sex and positive sex and stuff like that. Like, thank you. Because if it's your partner who loves you, obviously they want you to feel good. They want what's best for you. And, so just be clear. Here's the thing. And same thing like I am with my syllabus. Like, oh my God, she's going from, another little car. She's going from romantic intimacy to a syllabus in college. I am. Here's why. There's a connection. Same thing, what I say to my students with the syllabus on like day one, because I'm very conscious of neurodivergent thinkers. I am one. So I guess maybe that gives me a little inside, view on that. Those on the spectrum, the Fast Mind Club, blah, 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 blah. So I am crystal clear with the syllabus. There are no surprises. Also, those students I have who struggle with anxiety really appreciate this, because they're my planners, and they want to know, 4 weeks out what's happening. What if my best friend comes? I can take care of it and get the assignment done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. My head's free, whatever the reason. And the thing is, so it is ultra, step-by-step clear with detail. So there's no questions. And then I say to all my students, you know what? The neurotypicals are benefiting too, because how can you have too much clarity, really? somebody kind of steering you in the direction that's going to have you be the most successful, whether that's in a college classroom, whether that's in a best friendship, whether that's your new chosen family and you want to start off on the right foot with some new people, whether that's your long-term relationship, which may be a marriage, clarity as a parent, clarity in the workplace, show me exactly what I need to do. I mean, how do you go wrong? So ask for what you want. Ask for what you need. Be clear. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful, the breeze is very nice. Beautiful, now breezy, Disney World. Have a mindful day.